participation of women in conservancy, governance, and management. And they are as follows. 1, weak policies at a conservancy level that address matters of sexual harassment and safeguarding policies. Unfavorable working condition for rangers, especially female rangers. Inadequate funding to support more women-led activities. And it's very true. Some regions don't even have funds that have been allocated to support the work that women are doing on the ground. Lack of standardized policies across all regional associations and conservancies. Organizational capacity and strength to handle emerging trends. We strongly commend the work done so far toward addressing existing gender inequalities. Notwithstanding, we recommend the following considerations. We recommend that conservancies revise the existing policy. And I think I said it last year. This is what we are saying this year again. Please let this be the last time that we are telling the chairperson, please revise your constitution. Imeleweka? Wazee wamenyamaza na ndio wanatawala. Hebu ongeeni. Haya, okay. Existing policies include the Conservancy Constitution to be gender responsive and reflect provisions like two-third gender rule in Conservancy Board, Secretariat, and in employment guidelines. Safeguard on sexual harassment, including prevention, reporting, and redress mechanism. Benefit sharing regimes that are inclusive, fair, and equitable. We recommend that conservancies allocate resources to the well-being of female ranger workforce, towards safe housing, nursing station, sanitation, working condition, and provision of necessary facilities. You all know that, yes, you have employed those women, but there's nowhere they can breastfeed, there's nowhere they can go to the toilet. So when someone is pregnant, she lives at 7 months. Kwa sababu hakuna the right place for her to be taken care of. We recommend that KWCA continues to support regional associations towards employing gender transformative approaches through trainings, knowledge sharing, and fundraising. We recommend that KWCA broadens the scope of gender program to include all the 12 landscapes so as to realize equitable and sustainable outcomes. We urge each person to become a gender champion in the conservancies and nominate other male gender champions within the conservancies to help promote gender equity in the conservancies. Lastly, we recommend that conservancies network work towards designing sustainable women enterprises project, include identifying market linkages for products at competitive prices. Thank you, and my name is Penina Taki, the chairperson of the Women Forum. And before you clap, maybe if there is anything that I've forgotten, I would like to welcome Josephine to add 1 or 2, so that
na women na wanaume wote ni champion na kila mtu. Langu sitaongeza mengi, tumesema hayo yote ndio mazungumzo yetu kama wamama. Sawa. Mazungumzo yetu sisi wote kama wamama ya wafugaji ya conservation ni hayo, na langu ni kusema kwamba hii agenda ya wamama haitawezekana bila kila mtu. Inahitaji kila mtu. Haitawezekana bila wazee wetu, haitawezekana bila mandugu zetu, watoto wetu ambao ni vijana. Kwa hivyo wakati mwingi mtakaposikia maneno ya agenda, tusichukue kama ni agenda ya wamama peke yake, ni agenda sisi wote. Kwa manake mali dunia tunaenda sasa hivi leo ni kwamba hatutaki wamama wetu peke yake waweze kubaki pale nyuma. Tunataka pia sisi tuonekane katika international level, national level. Na hayo yote ambayo inaleta hayo ni kuhakikisha kwamba usawa iko katikati yetu. Kupitia masomo, kupeleka mtoto msichana shuleni, kupatia mama nafasi ya uongozi katika conservancy, kuinua sauti hao. Ndipo unaona hata leo kwa national level kisiasa wanawake wa wafugaji hawako katika ministry. Ukiangalia jana tukio hapa na waziri na ule PS. Katika hiyo system ya PS na mawaziri, msichana moja tu ule ametoka Laikipia ndio mfugaji ama kutoka kwa conservation area. Kwa hivyo tunataka baada ya miaka 10 hata kwa ministries, kwa national level wanawake wetu wako juu. Na hiyo yote kupitia nyinyi kutukubali sisi mapema. Kwa hivyo tunaomba nyinyi chairmen wa Conservancy, ikiwa ni mama, ikiwa ni mwanaume, tuchukue hii agenda ya wamama mbele, tuweze kuongeza sauti ya wamama kupitia Conservancies hadi kwa national level, to influence siasa, to influence maneno mingi na maendeleo. Kwa hivyo sisi tunashukuru, tunapoenda manyumbani mchukue jukumu wa kuwa agenda champions, na sisi tunashukuru pia kwa sababu hata sisi kusimama hapa ni nyinyi umetupatia sisi nafasi. Kwa hivyo tunasema asanteni.
Makofi kwa Josephine tena. In conclusion, I want to thank KWCA for facilitating and consistently holding the National Conservancies Women Forum, and to applaud all women who have traveled from far across the country to represent a sisterhood of thousands of women who are the backbone of the Conservancy network. Asante sana akina mama. Akina mama hoye. Hai hai.
Akina mama hoye. Akina baba hoye. Ya sauti ni mzito. Thank you very much, Penina and Josephine, for those very strong sentiments. Is it a point of order?
My name is Afizi Nyambo Ibrahim from Geno Conservancy, chairperson. I raise a prayer as a point of order. I'm a gender champion. Kina mama, mnavyojiita kina mama mnajidunisha. Ni wanawake. You should be addressing yourself as wanawake, not kina mama. Kujiita kina mama ni kujidunisha. So you should be using wanawake, not kina mama.
Asante, thank you. It means then hata wenyeji wanataka kubadilisha hiyo vizuri. But thank you for that point of order. I think it's noted. So I was appreciating Penina Taki and Josephine for those very good sentiments at KWCA at national level. We are embracing gender equity. We are embracing inclusivity in governance, in leadership, in secretariat, all manner of levels. So we urge our members, our Conservancy members and regional association to take this upon themselves to also emulate the national umbrella in their respective governance and secretariat leadership. But the many points of improvements and gaps are well noted, and I think it is a progressive discussion to work on that. So I just want to also give the chairman's remarks, but maybe before I give the chairman's remarks, I want us to observe a moment of silence, for we've lost two of our members. The one that Reverend mentioned, Harrison, who comes from Ngoteya Conservancy, who is not with us, and also lost a very, very resourceful chairman for the Council of Elders for NRT, and former NCC a representative for NRT Coast, Mohammed Said Rofa. Just want to request the members to stand and we observe a moment of silence for those two fallen heroes before we move in to the next agenda. So let's all rise and then observe a moment of silence for the two heroes that have fallen. Thank you very much. You can remain seated. I will now want to allow me kindly to read the speech for the chair so that I may articulate the points that we wanted the members of NCC to take note. So it gives me a pleasure to welcome you all to the 2023 National Conservancies Leaders meetings over the last 2 days and the AGM. In our midst are some observers, 3 members of the Umoja Wildlife Conservancies of Uganda. If they're just in kindly, you can stand so that the Kenya Wildlife Conservancies movement can recognize you. Yeah, let's appreciate them. This is the Conservancies movement in Kenya. We believe we are going to be a sister organization on our counterparts in Uganda over the same effort. So we welcome the Umoja team. At some point they hosted KWCA in an exchange meeting in the month of July 3rd to 9th, and the resolution was made to share experiences on community conservation between Kenya and Uganda. Secondly, we have 27 members of the National Conservancies Women Forum who are also in attendance, as the statement indicated by Penina, and the Women Forum had their meeting on Monday, the 27th, and we just have had the highlights from their meeting to NCC. I urge the AGM to consider the forum recommendation in the foregoing so that some of the pointers and actions and gaps they propose can be worked on. We are also joined by the CEOs of our Landscape Association. Those CEOs who are in the room, kindly just stand. We want to appreciate you. The CEOs for the Regional Association. Yes, Alfred, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Others? Yes, Gilo, thank you for being with us. We equally want to appreciate our partners and some newly elected chairperson. In our conservancies, your presence is most appreciated. And karibu sana kwa AGMs for KWCA. This is particularly so considering that all of us are coming through a serious drought that have heavily impacted our communities and our conservancies. We last met physically on 18th of May 2022 at KCB Leadership Conference Center, where we had a very successful AGM and an election of our NCC officials. I do want to encourage our members to make the best use of this event, the AGM, in our time to update and learn from each other on the progress we are making and the emerging opportunities. It is our moment to decide on our next roadmap as we face the future together as a team. Today, I'm elated to welcome the chairpersons who are attending the KWCA annual general meeting for the first time. It is also a pleasure to welcome 10 new members, conservancies who will be admitted into our network in this meeting, that this is our word to say thank you and karibuni sana kwa AGM yetu. This year's AGM is coming at a time KWCA is celebrating its 10th year anniversary since its establishment in 2013. Our theme for this AGM is 10 years of local action towards ecosystem restoration. Has this chosen to reflect our conservation journey for the last 10 years and the future desired to ensure that the conservancies are locally led, equitable, and sustainable communities institutions that deliver positive outcome for both local communities and wildlife heritage that Kenya is endowed with. Ladies and gentlemen, during the last few months, the NCC has oversighted the Secretariat to deliver the organization's strategic plan. Among some of the key highlights that are in the focus in the upcoming strategy: one, an improved policy environment nationally, promoting the growth of conservancies across the country. KWCA advocacy of key policies has made strides, as you appreciate, from the policy conference that we have just had yesterday. Two, an expanded area under conservancies that deliver benefits to communities and nature. Our membership has increased from 173 in 2002 to 183 with the admission of 10 new members in today's AGM. That support conservancies growth. We are pleased that the partnership with IFO and TTWCA and AET are now funded by the USAID, and more grants are being made available for the NECA, the BCCA, and PECFO, which we look forward to activate more association towards their maturity. Finally, on the strategy, KWCA continue to grow in both staff, program, policy, strategies, and this significant increase, and this is significantly as a result of increase in funding and partners, as well as shortly being demonstrated in the evidence of an organization that is growing and serve its members. All this has been made possible with the general support from the government, our partners, our conservancy members across the country. As we forge forward towards the next 10 years, the NCC priorities will continue in guiding the organization and our conservancies in the following ways. One, that the domestication of the global biodiversity framework provides a key guide on the future of conservancies. Kenya's key opportunity to attain the 30 by 30 global biodiversity target lies on the future growth of conservancies. KWCA will continue engaging with the landscape association and partners to support the establishment of new conservancies. Secondly, focus will now shift to effectiveness, not necessarily growing numbers, but making sure that the numbers we already have, there is effectiveness. Conservancies will need to become more efficient, more effective, and be in a position to measure effectiveness and awarding progressive priorities that will uplift the work of the conservancies. Thirdly, we recognize the value of support from the county government, our county governments in the respective areas, including our national government, in supporting our communities to register as community lands, support them in the implementation of zoning, land zonation plans, and providing the needed funding to conservancies. Finally, we will spotlight on climate change adaptation, gender and youth inclusion, rangeland restoration, working towards sustainability of KWCA and the conservancies. And in this regard, I urge our members to actively contribute to the government call for growing 15 billion trees to see whether we will be in a position to reverse the natural calamities like the drought that we've just gone through. Ladies and gentlemen, in the recent commencement of the process to create Kenya Project Finance for Permanency, PFP, which much information was shared in the last 2 days proceedings, is a welcome opportunity. We appreciate the TNC and the government of Kenya for making this ambitious decision. KWCA will actively participate in the upcoming feasibility phase to make the PFP a reality. As you may have already appreciated from yesterday's sessions on carbon credit markets, carbon credits will be opening a new funding opportunity. We welcome the legal review planned by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry to design a regulatory framework for carbon credits. I urge our members not to jump into poorly negotiated contracts. We urge that the guidance from KWCA and the Landscape Association is sought to ensure the benefit from carbon credit accrues significantly to our communities. During the upcoming month, KWCA will begin a process to create its next strategic plan 2024-2028. I urge members to actively participate in the drafting phase to ensure the next strategy focuses on priority action-based interests for the members' conservancies. So we just want to request our members that let's actively participate in the development process of our strategy so that whatever goes into the strategy speaks to our daily issues at our regions and in our conservancies. KWCA has also embarked on an ambitious journey to establish a home for our conservation story, the Community Conservation Hub. Concept has been developed and we are currently identifying land and the hub, where the hub will be built, and the hub will help reduce KWCA operation costs, but more importantly be a meeting point where Kenyans communities and land conservation story will be shared to the public and visitors. It has been a long, is soon going to be a reality. On the 22nd and 23rd February, KWCA engaged the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, Heritage, and the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, and I'm keen to report that addressing human-wildlife conflict, developing a wildlife economy, and an ecosystem restoration feature highly featured on the ministry's priorities. We look forward to support the government agenda on these key matters and therefore request our members to also extend the support for government in their respective regions. The NCC and the secretariats made significant effort to fundraise resources to keep the organization programs supported. During the year 2022, the number of funding partners increased from 9 in 2021 to 12 partners in 2022, with a great amount that has increased up to 200 million shillings. With these funds, the organization asset base increased from 45 million to 68 million, which indicates a 52% increase. For we procured a new vehicle and expanded the office base to cater for the new staff that have joined KWCA. During the year, KWCA secured 5 new partnerships. This included a 3-year fellow grant from LGT, Venture Philanthropy, 3 years grant from the UK Pact through the Conservation International, 2-year grant from Bioparma, and a 2 years grant from IUCN and a short-term grant from USAID to support APAC participation. Finally, we are on a journey to create a capital reserve and in future convert it into an endowment fund to sustainably support KWCA core costs. In this regard, I wish to thank LGTVP for setting up this with an amount of $300,000 pledged to the fund. We are reaching out to more partners to join in and support us in growing the fund. We acknowledge the capacity needs across the various young associations and have stepped up our funding efforts to potential partnership this year to support additional associations such as PEC4, NECA, WWCA, and RIFTLEX. In conclusion, members, I wish to extend a hand of appreciation to our partners, the State Department of Wildlife, Kenya Wildlife Service, USAID, TNC, Mali Asili, LGT Venture Philanthropy, Conservation International, IUCN, WWF, FFI, among others, who, by their support, it has made KWCA to remain on the feet and to make significant strides going forward. KWCA progress is hinged on the success of 12 landscape associations, and the associations continue to make significant progress in supporting conservancies and growing the network. With coordination, the ambition of the network will be realized. I extend my congratulations to the KWCA Secretariat, the passion and commitment that own KWCA, the African-based conservation supporter that was the apex of our achievement in the foregoing year. Last but not least, finally, as you will note, the gender ratio in the Secretariat of KWCA is now very healthy. This is a challenge to all of us to ensure that our conservancies have equitable representation that is inclusive of women and youth. Lastly, members, during the last NCC meeting that was held on the 25th of March, 2023, the Council decided to honor a number of conservationists who, through their so many ways, contributed outstanding effort that has led to the growth of the Kenya Wildlife Conservancies Network in our various regions in the country. We said, let's sometime recognize this effort as we celebrate our 10th year anniversary of great success and great achievements. Why don't we also recognize a few of our members in the respective regions that have helped us to grow the network and the institution as well. So I'd like just to highlight a few names that NCC deliberated in our last NCC board meeting. And some names were highlighted and discussed and resolved that this name should be recognized as part of our celebration in this day. So the late Side Rover from NRT, Donald Bangosa, long-serving chair of TTWCA and the chair of Mgeno Conservancy, the Daniel Eturesh, the founding chair of AET and the chair of Orgulului Group Ranch in Amboseli, Tom Lalamba, the CEO of NRT and formerly the chair of Kenya Wildlife Conservancies Association, Francis Ngoitoi, the former chair of KWCA and formerly the chair of MMWCA and currently the chair of Mara North Conservancy. Catherine Coombs, former Soy Sambu rep and former NCC vice chair. Munira Bashir, the TNC country director. And from the Kenya Wildlife Service, Anne Kahia was the founding treasurer for NCC. Those are the names that we suggested. Just once again to say, I want to thank all of you for the great work in your various landscape, and to our partners and the government of Kenya for the continued support. I do wish to the members' great deliberations in the proceedings agenda of kindly pass our greetings to your conservancy members, staff, and the boards. Asanteni sana. So thank you very much. That is the chairman's report. I would like us to adopt the statement by the National Women Conservancies Forum together with the chairman's report by the members. So I need a proposer and seconder for Peter Kentagor, a proposer. Somebody else? Yes, Samuel Kangi from Amboseli as the seconder. Thank you very much. So I think I'll hand over to the CEO to give us guidance on the next action.
Thank you, tumpigia Chair makofi. Those are highlights from the NCC and also from the Women Forum. Both of them have both reflected on the past and also prioritized some of the important things that will guide us going forward. As the chair said, the NCC had its meeting last week and resolved to recognize some of the people that have provided leadership for KWCA and also the conservancies to where we are today as we celebrate 10 years. So I would like to usher in the chair just to go down here as we invite those that have been read. All of them have done commendable work during the last 10 years to bring KWCA to what it is. And also their efforts are being recognized for the many years. Each of them have spent more than 20 years working in this field, and they are the reason why many of us are gathering here today. Are you guiding? Yeah. On the top. Okay. So thank you. So the first one is the late Said Mohammed Rova, who was a member of the NCC, a member of the Council of NRT from the coast. We sadly lost him early this year. I would like to welcome Ali Haribai, from the chair of the Lower Tana, on his behalf to receive the recognition for the family of the late Said Rova. Thank you, Makofi. It's also a pleasure to welcome Tom Lalampa, the CEO of NRT, who is the founding chair of KWCA. He was involved in the early days, visiting Namibia, coming up with the concept and working through to establish KWCA. He was involved in my recruitment. He's a tough negotiator. And as he comes, our immediate former chair, Mr. Francis Nkoitoi, who has been leading the effort to develop conservancies in Masai Mara, was my former employer as well. He was the one who recruited me into the conservancies. and he was the former chair of KWCA. Karibu. And then following him is one of our own, Catherine Coombs from Soisambu Conservancy. She's online, joining us online following these proceedings. I would like to welcome John Degwa, the representative of the Rift Lakes Conservancies Association, to receive the acknowledgement for Catherine Coombs. Catherine was our former vice chair. She's been involved in engaging our members within the Rift Lakes, have contributed a lot during our board meetings, and we valued her support, and she continues to do conservation work in a different area. Thank you. Please pass our regards. Mzee Donald Bongosa is the founding chair of TTWCA. He has been in this game for more than 30 years. He's the brain behind the conversion of 30 ranches in Taita Taveta. He's such a storyteller. If you want to learn stories about the Taita landscape, the Savo landscape, Donald Bongosa has been very instrumental in guiding us and engaging the conservancies. Thank you very much, Donald. Okay, the next one is a leader that most of you know. Daniel Olele Turesh is the chair of Olgulului Ololarashi Group Ranch around Amboseli. He's also the chair of Amboseli Ecosystem Trust. I would like to invite the chair of the Conservancies Council in Amboseli, Samuel Kaanki, to come and receive, and please pass our pole and get well soon. He's not feeling very well. He's been very instrumental in creating group ranch spatial plans that include conservation. In his own ranch, there are 5 conservancies for which he has led the way to establish. And then next, we have Ann Kahihia from Kenya Wildlife Service. We have a KWS representative. Ann was with us. She was involved as our treasurer, did a very diligent job in setting up the financial systems for the organization. She's now retired from Kenya Wildlife Service, but has been very instrumental, and Mary Kirabui has taken her position. We are very appreciative. Please pass our regards. Okay, the next one, I would like to invite the chair of the council for Women Forum, Penina Taki, to come and so Penina, on our behalf, will gift Munira Bashir from the Nature Conservancy. She's been a supporter and partner in establishing KWCA. I wish to invite Claire Ogali on behalf of our partners to receive the gift for Munira Bashir for her work over the last 10 years. Thank you, tuwapigie wote makofi. Hawa ndio walikuwa viongozi wetu ambao wamefanya kazi nzuri, ndio sababu leo tunaweza kusherekea miaka 10. So I like to give, usher in the chair to continue.
Let's appreciate that entire team for the great work they have done. Asanteni sana. So it's not enough. What we've just appreciated you with is just but a sign of appreciation of the great work you guys did in founding KWCA, in advocating for the Conservancies movement. We want to recognize that effort. Asanteni sana. We also as NCC thought that that effort and the work that our leaders have done was very great, but we equally thought internally we want to also equally appreciate our secretariat for the great work in facilitating us, in doing us all that we've been happy and proud of. And we said we probably can't appreciate all of them. We will continuously go through the list over the years, but also appreciated the founding secretariat, which Gladys Warigia is one of the staff that as NCC, we said we cannot celebrate 10 years of great achievement without Gladys not being there. So Gladys, kindly walk through the floor. I would like to request my Vice Chair, Madam Sadia, to come in front and kindly appreciate Gladys. Let's appreciate her a bit. Naenda huko chini na bado hii height imekata. Thank you very much, Gladys. Let's appreciate her. They were the first two secretariat that we had since the organization was established. So I want to invite also Dixon. Dixon Kaelo, our CEO, has been a great leader, a great mobilizer. And we said as NCC, we cannot also forget Dixon. Dixon started KWCA when we didn't even have any car. And we used to hire some cars left, right, and center. And we were blessed to get a donation of a small Suzuki. I don't know whether some of us remember that. He has actually grew the organization from those days where it was just him, and then later on Gladys, to where the organization is, which is now fully-fledged. So Dixon, we appreciate you. Karibu sana. Take the floor. And I request the Secretary, John Singing, to kindly come on behalf of the NCC to present over the appreciation to Dixon. Let's appreciate Dixon. Thank you, Dixon. Dixon wishes to not. Okay, what we've just presented in recognition of outstanding contribution in the Conservancy growth in Kenya. So that is the recognition that is going out. So before I end that session, may I kindly request all the teams that have been recognized to come in front for a group joint photo of all the teams that have been recognized. Kindly walk the floor so that we take a group photo as a team. We know we took individual photos, but maybe we take one as a team. Karibuni sana. You can kindly come with, if not everything, at least the sign of the award. Karibu. Yeah. You can lead. Karibuni sana. Even those who Gladys amepotea. Why is your gift? No, you can change the group. We can squeeze so that we take a center picture. Yes, we kindly wait. There is another gentleman who is just walking behind. People, I think, quickly went out to check. So thank you very much. Thank you. We deliberated at NCC and we said at times it's important we recognize our heroes when they're still serving, not necessarily when they're retired, but we said let's appreciate, let's celebrate 10 years anniversary with them. So we are honored to you being part of that movement that has actually done a lot of effort to the country and the conservancies and our communities in Kenya. Thank you. So I think, Dixon, do we have a video? So allow me to now say we are done with our first morning session. So I request that we take only a 10 minutes break, just get a cup of tea, and then get back to the podium so that we can continue with the discussion. Asanteni sana, karibuni chai.